We're dropping in on Corcelettes Winery during a soil sampling used to determine what, if any, amendments the vines might require to remain healthy over the next few years. But at this moment, we're learning about lees and how a winemaker uses them to enhance the texture of the wine.
We make one really exciting white wine here that requires this technique for us here at Corcelette. Our Chardonnay is designed to be of a rich or textured white wine style. And so that comes with higher ripeness, typically, of course, as a result, higher alcohol wines. And so we need to find balance with lees and texture. And so lees is ultimately solids that are of grape skin, grape seed, pulp, dead yeast cells. All of these things that fall out of wine at their new state will fall to the bottom of these tanks or barrels. And we like to stir those, so different techniques are used. We've got a different rod for barrels as opposed to this paddle here that I'm demonstrating for our concrete sphere. And so I've already kind of marked this up a little bit, but what we're doing is trying to get to the bottom of that, and we just pulp it back up so that we can resuspend that lees, which ultimately is like, whack of flavor and texture. And so you can see that kind of getting a little bit murky there already. We'll do that about 3 times a week at this phase. So primary fermentation has complete. We're into secondary fermentation, which is not as violent. And so we do assist this lees in finding suspension again by simply stirring and kind of rocking the boat, if you will. So lees, just an important part of developing texture and making wines a little bit richer and fatter to find balance in what is our Chardonnay style. Our Chardonnay is a combination of this concrete, which is oxidative in a way because concrete is porous. It's complemented by, our standard barrel formats over there, which provide a little bit more of an oak seasoning. And so between the two, we find that we maintain a lot of freshness, managed oak influence, while, really kind of driving that texture through lees. Lees stirring is done, at this point, through malolactic fermentation 3 times a week. It takes kind of 3-4 minutes to do a tank and 2-3 minutes to do a barrel. So it's pretty quick. And it's also lees contact or resuspending lees is an antioxidant, kind of protects wines through aging for low sulfite or zero sulfur periods. After we've kind of accomplished the texture or character of lees impact we want in wine, we'll then of course just stop stirring. The lees will settle down. And at that point, we'll simply remove, gently, we'll pump the clear wine off the bottom of the barrel, the bottom of the tank, and separate that lees from the wine. So ways that we can separate lees from wine is through, of course, a racking wand, or a practice called racking. And so you can see that this valve is positioned above the bottom, which allows us we expect our lees to be at least this deep. So if we draw from this valve, we should find some clear juice for our initial lacquer, or at this point, clear wine. Our wine, or Chardonnay particularly, is aged for 8 to 10 months, so it doesn't even get filtered. So we'll just simply rack and return a few times, clean the barrels, and we're able to go to bottle as an unfiltered product.